For the 6th season in a row, Walters is the official bar of the Nats Chat podcast, located across the street from the ballpark, just off South Capitol Street.
Warning, the following ZipRecruiter radio spot you are about to hear is going to be filled with F-words.
When you're hiring, we at ZipRecruiter know you can feel frustrated, forlorn even, like your efforts are futile, and you can spend a fortune trying to find fabulous people, only to get flooded with candidates who are just fine. Fortunately, ZipRecruiter figured out how to fix all that. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/zip. With ZipRecruiter, you can forget your frustrations because we find the right people for your roles fast, which is our absolute favorite F word. In fact, 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day.
Fantastic.
So, whether you need to hire 4, 40, or 400 people, get ready to meet first-rate talent. Just go to ZipRecruiter.com/zip to try ZipRecruiter for free. Don't forget, that's ZipRecruiter.com/zip. Finally, that's ZipRecruiter.com/zip.
And now the kick and the pitch. Swing and a line drive left field. Raley will have to play it on a hop. So in from third to score is Lile on another clutch 2-out RBI hit. This time for Dylan Cruz, scoring Daylen Lile. And it's the Nationals 3 and the Mariners nothing here with 2 out of the bottom of the first inning. Here's the pitch. Swing and a fly ball hit well by Garcia, sending Robles back, way back, going, and gone! Goodbye! A home run for Luis Garcia Jr. on a pitch down and away. And gets the barrel to it. And it just carried over the big wall in right center field. Bang! Zoom goes Luis Garcia Jr. It's home run number 9, RBIs 42 and 43. And the Nationals answer right back here with 2 in the bottom of the 5th. It's Washington 5, Seattle 3.
Now the set, a long hold, a throw over. Cruz hits the dirt, and Abrams is going to break for the plate. The ball mishandled by Naylor, and CJ scores. Well, how do you like that? The Nationals have a 7-3 lead. Naylor couldn't handle the throw. Abrams started breaking for the plate anyway and just kept on running.
And welcome to Nats Chat. I'm Al Galdi, host of the Al Galdi podcast. My usual co-host, Washington Nationals insider Mark Zuckerman of NatsJournal.com. He is off for this installment of the podcast, but good to be with you. As you may know, I do enjoy baseball in terms of its stats. So here's something that I came across in crunching some numbers. So the Washington Nationals record for runs in a regular season is 873 in 2019. The 2026 Nats are on pace for 872 runs. The record is 873. The 2026 Nats are on pace for 872. Yes, the 2026 Nats, with their tiny payroll in this season number 1 of a restarted rebuild, are threatening the franchise record for runs in a regular season. A record set by the best team in franchise history, right? What was a win now, high payroll having World Series championship team. What the Nats are doing with their new analytics-based process and improved coaching and promising young players is one of the best stories in MLB. And the story continued with an 8-3 win over the Seattle Mariners at Nationals Park on Saturday in Game 2 of a 3-game series. The Nats' 2-game losing streak is over. They, in MLB's 2026 regular season, are back above 500, 36 and 35, and now are tied with the mighty Los Angeles Dodgers for number 1 in MLB in runs, 382. This installment of Nats Chat is brought to us by Steve Solomon's at-large candidacy for Montgomery County Council. Visit VoteSteveSolomon.com as early voting is now underway. For more information on our pal Solly, check out my conversation with him on this past Thursday's installment of the Al Galdi podcast, episode 1345. Really good crowd at Nationals Park on Saturday. Official attendance, 30,004. In fact, we, during Nats manager Blake Butera's postgame press conference on Saturday evening, had these exchanges.
Did you feel the energy from the crowd?
Yeah, the crowd was awesome. The Tarp's off crew up there in right field they were going crazy, and yeah, we definitely felt that and heard them, and glad we could play well.
Screech was up there with the Tarp's off guys.
Was he? Yeah. I missed Screech, but yeah. I'll keep an eye on it next time.
Yeah, the Tarps Off craze has been great, and the Tarps Off participants at Nationals Park have been great. This has been such a fun season for the Nats so far. More good offense from the Nats. They in this 8-3 win over the Mariners at Nationals Park on Saturday. 8 runs, 10 hits, which were a home run, a triple, a double, and 7 singles. 3 walks, 4 for 10 with runners in scoring position. The Nats scored 3 runs in the bottom of the first, 2 runs in the bottom of the fifth, and 3 runs in the bottom of the seventh. The homer was by Luis Garcia Jr. He is the Nats starting first baseman and number 2 batter. Went 1 for 3 with a 2-run homer. Garcia in the Nats 2-run fifth had a 1-out 2-run homer to right center field for a 5-3 Nats lead. The homer went a projected 408 feet per Statcast as the Luis Garcia power surge continues. He, for the month of May, had a slugging percentage of .513. He, for this month of June now, has a slugging percentage of .667. And his OPS for this regular season is up to .756, including a .470 slugging percentage. Luis Garcia, all of a sudden, is an offensive force this season. And while we're talking Garcia, Blake Butera pinch hit for Garcia with Andres Chaparro to begin the bottom of the seventh against lefty Mariners relief pitcher and former Nats relief pitcher Jose A. Ferrer. And Chaparro smashed a leadoff first pitch double off the warning track in left field in what ended up being a 3-run seventh for the Nats in yet another successful pinch hitting decision by Butera. How often has he pressed the right button in terms of pinch hitting decisions so far this season? C.J. Abrams, he is a Nats starting shortstop and number 4 batter, went 3 for 4 with 2 RBI singles and another single. Abrams in the Nats 3-run first had a 2-out opposite field RBI single to left center field for 1-0 Nats lead. Abrams in the Nats 3-run seventh had a first pitch opposite field RBI single through the left side of the infield for a 6-3 Nats lead. The single came off Jose A. Ferrer, who officially allowed 3 runs in a third of an inning. Yes, the Nats got to our old pal Jose A. Ferrer. Abrams' OPS for this regular season is up to .904. How about Daylen Lile? He on what was Daylen Lile Bobblehead Day at Nationals Park was the Nats starting left fielder and number 5 batter. He went 1 for 4 with an RBI triple. Yes, he did his Daylen Lile thing of hitting a triple. Lile in the Nats 3-run first had a 2-out RBI triple off the outfield wall in right field to put the Nats up 2-0. Lyle's OPS for this regular season is up to .743. And Daylen Lile, over 161 career MLB regular season games, now has 14 triples. And Dylan Cruz, he was the Nats starting center fielder and number 6 batter, went 1 for 4 with an RBI single. Also made an awesome defensive play, a leaping backhanded catch at the wall in the top of the fifth. But Cruz in the Nats 3-run first had a 2-out RBI single to left field for a 3-0 Nats lead. But the highlight of the game from Cruz to me was him in the Nats 3-run seventh, scoring all the way from first base on Jose Tena's 2-out RBI single to center field on a 1-2 pitch for an 8-3 Nats lead.
Now the pitch, Cruz running and a line drive base hit into center field. Cruz will keep on chugging around to third as the ball played back in by Rodriguez. Now he's going to try to score. The throw home by Young. The slide, the tag. He's in there. He scores from first on a single.
Cruz made a terrific headfirst spinning slide into home plate. What a play by Cruz. What a job by Cruz to score from first base on that single. Advancing 2 bases on a single is good. Advancing 3 bases on a single is outstanding. We know about Cruz needing to be more productive as a batter, but his base running and defense have been good. The Nats starting pitcher in this 8-3 win over the Mariners at Nationals Park on Saturday was Cade Cavalli. Mixed outing for him. He allowed 3 runs in 5 innings, gave up 4 hits, which were a home run and 3 singles. He issued a hit by pitch, but he had 5 strikeouts versus no walks. He threw 81 pitches, 52 strikes, 29 balls. All 3 of the runs that Cavalli allowed came in the top of the 5th, during which he issued a leadoff full count hit by pitch of Dominic Canzone, gave up a 2-out full count RBI single by Mitch Garver to center field, despite having had him down in the count at 1.02, and then gave up a 2-out 2-run homer by Colt Emerson to right field on an 0-2 pitch to tie the game at 3.
Now the pitch. Swing and a long drive to right field, down the line toward the corner. Wood going back. It's going, and it's gone. A home run into the second deck over the bullpen. And this game all even with 3 runs in the 5th for the Mariners. It's Seattle 3 and Washington 3.
Also in the inning was a 2-out throwing error by second baseman Nasim Nunez, and him throwing across his body and making what was ruled an errant throw to first base in an attempt at a double play. Although the throw really was not that bad. This was a one-hop throw that the first baseman, Luis Garcia Jr., absolutely could have caught. We just sung the praises of Garcia as a batter, and he deserves those praises, but Garcia's defense continues to not be the greatest, shall we say. Cavalli in that Mariners 3-run fifth threw a whopping 33 pitches, and so he ended up lasting for just the 5 innings. Disappointing considering how well he had been doing and how efficient he had been. Cavalli began the outing by throwing 4 scoreless innings on just 48 pitches. Cade Cavalli now in this regular season, 15 games, all starts, ERA a 3.98, whip of 1.39, strikeouts per 9 innings of 9.76. Those numbers are solid, if not good. And, he's doing what he's doing. Despite some bad luck, his BABIP allowed, batting average on balls in play allowed, is 349. League average is around 300.
Hello, Montgomery County, Maryland listeners of Nats Chat. This is for you. I'm Steve Solomon, candidate for Montgomery County Council at Large. You may remember me from my 20 years on local radio as Solly at the Team 980, where I worked with Nats Chat's own Al Galdi, Mark Zuckerman, and Tim Shovers. I myself am a podcaster now as well. I'm asking for your vote for Montgomery County Council at Large. Over the last 10 years, I've gotten much more involved in local issues in Montgomery County. I'm an active member of my civic association, the County Civic Federation. I volunteer at nonprofits. I serve on the board of directors of the Montgomery County Sports Hall of Fame, the Sports Advisory Committee, and the Library Board. Montgomery County is a great place to live. We've got incredible parks, libraries, restaurants, businesses, and most of all, people. That's why I'm running, because I think we can do better, whether it's at economic development and bringing in more businesses, helping the small businesses that are already here by streamlining permitting and cutting the red tape on inspections, or growing our partnerships with our thousands of amazing nonprofits. Doing those things will give us more money to keep all the services and programs we love funded, like programs for our seniors, taking care of homeowners and renters, and funding our parks, libraries, and rec centers. Once again, this is Steve Solomon. I'm running for Montgomery County Council at Large, and I'm asking for your vote. Early voting runs June 11th through June 18th. Election Day is June 23rd. You can learn more about me or how to contact me at votestevesolomon.com.
Rodriguez 0 for 3 with a walk. Lord's into the windup. The right-hander kicks and fires a pitch. Swinging a ground ball, chopped left side. Two-hopper for Meade. The throw across to Chaparro. And a curly W's in the books. And the Nationals are back over the 500 mark as they even this series with the Seattle Mariners.
And the Nats relief pitching in this 8-3 win over the Mariners at Nationals Park on Saturday was good. 4 Nats relievers combined for 4 scoreless innings. So the bullpen needed that of some recent struggles. P.J. Poulin is back. He tossed 2/3 of a scoreless and hitless inning. He in the top of the 6th retired each of the Mariners' first 2 batters, but that issued a 2-out walk. The Nats on Saturday afternoon announced having recalled Poulin from AAA Rochester. This as the corresponding roster moved to the Nats early Saturday morning, announcing having option relief pitcher Riley Cornelio to AAA Rochester. Orlando Revolta tossed 2/3 of a scoreless inning. He faced 3 batters and got 2 outs. Richard Lovelady tossed 2/3 of a scoreless inning despite giving up 3 singles and issuing a walk. And Brad Lord tossed 2 scoreless and hitless innings with 2 swinging strikeouts. So he came into the game at the top of the 8th with runners on first and second, no outs, and the Nats up 8-3. And Lord induced a 5-4-3 double play by ex-Nat Victor Robles. Although Robles rolled an ankle and fell down and trying to run out of the batter's box. Hopefully he's okay. But Lord then tossed a perfect top of the 9th. So a few things with the Nats relievers who pitched in this game in terms of updated stats for this regular season. Orlando Revolta continues to be a really good 20 games, 20 innings, ERA of 1.80, whip of 0.95. Richard Lovelady continues to be the king of low ERA, high whip. As mentioned, he on Saturday tossed 2/3 of a scoreless inning despite giving up 3 singles and issuing a walk. Lovelady now has an ERA of 2.61 despite a whip of 1.89. His whip is not that far from being higher than his ERA. I've been talking about this. We're getting closer to the whip actually being higher than the ERA. That's insane, but that is the case. A 2.61 ERA, which is really good, and a 1.89 whip, which is really bad. And Brad Lord, how good has he been? 21 games, 45 innings, ERA of 2.20, whip of 1.02. Did you happen to hear what analyst Kevin Franzen said during the Nationals.TV telecast of this game? He at the top of the 8th said what I've said and what I'm sure many of you are saying. It is time for Brad Lord to graduate from being a long reliever to being a high leverage / long reliever. This guy is emerging as a legitimate weapon out of a bullpen that we all know is not exactly sparkling, okay? Use this guy as not just an innings eating reliever, but also a high leverage reliever. That to me is the way to go. And this certainly can be done. This is how the Nats used Craig Stammen back in the day. Craig Stammen for the 2012 regular season was number 1 among all Nats relievers in innings pitched, 88 and a third, and was number 2 among all Nats pitchers in win probability added, 2.4. He was used as both a long reliever and a high leverage reliever. I would love to see that with Brad Lord. Heck, we may well be in the process of seeing that with Brad Lord. You tell me what you think. You can hit me up on X at Al Galdi. You can reach the podcast as a whole on X at Nats_chat. A very nice win for the Nats on Saturday. We, during Blake Butera's postgame press conference on Saturday evening, had these exchanges regarding some of the principal aspects of the win.
How the last 2 games have gone, did this game feel more like what you feel like this team can do and show people?
Yeah, for sure. That was a good battle out there. I thought our guys played really, really well in all facets. Base running, defense, pitching. The bullpen was outstanding as well. Cade was great those first 4 innings. Obviously ran into some trouble in the 5th, but this is a really good lineup, and really happy with the way he threw the ball and happy with the way the bullpen came up clutch for us.
What did you see from Cade in the 5th?
I think it's just the hit by pitch. He kind of got deep into counts. He was behind the count a handful of times there. Yeah, it caught up with him.
When you were talking about the base running, Dylan scores from first base on that play. We've talked about his offensive resurgence, but what have you seen from the base running from him?
There's so much that Dylan can bring to the table outside of, we always look at, what guys are doing offensively, of course. And we'd love for him to be hitting 300, 350 right now. But what Dylan brings to the table in terms of the base running, the athleticism, being able to score from first on that base hit right there, which is unbelievable. Heck of a send by our third base coach, Victor Estevez, but Dylan gave him that option to send him there because of how hard he ran and because of the tight turns that he made, and not to mention the defense he plays in the outfield as well. He made a heck of a play in center field earlier today as well. Dylan's just one of those 5-tool players that can change the game in a lot of different areas.
All right. Well, we on Nats Chat offer shout-outs, special messages. Think of them like messages on the scoreboard at Nationals Park. Email the man who runs this podcast, Tim Shovers, for more details, and natschatpodcast@gmail.com. And we have this for Linda Stone. It is that time of year, folks. The 1927 New York Yankees of Nats Chat are back to celebrate Linda Stone's birthday. Those lucky enough to know her will tell you that Linda is an avid baseball fan and also happens to be the greatest mother in the world. Mom is a Nats superfan, easily knowing that Richard Lovelady typically opens for Miles Michaelis, that JY's 2026 homer total has already surpassed his previous year's career total, and wondering when the front office will promote Yo-Yo to the show. She's also practically a professional Nats Chat podcast fan and is always looking for picturesque places to show off her Nats Chat t-shirt. Don't be surprised if she is seen rocking the merch on her upcoming trip with Dad to Alaska. Happy birthday, Mama. May this year bring great fortune to you and to the Nationals, a chance to cross off some of the remaining 20 MLB parks on your list and bring your laughter and light every single day. We love you. Wow, what a nice message for Linda Stone. Happy birthday, Linda. Enjoy Alaska. One of the greatest postseason pitchers in MLB history, Curt Schilling. He was born in Alaska, believe it or not. Game 3 for the Nats against the Mariners at Nationals Park. Sunday afternoon at 1:35, the Nats have listed Miles Michaelis as their probable starting pitcher for the game. This installment of Nats Chat brought to us by Steve Solomon's at-large candidacy for Montgomery County Council. Visit votestevesolomon.com as early voting is now underway. For more information on Solly, check out my conversation with him on this past Thursday's installment of the Al Galdi podcast, episode 1345. Nats Chat is on the radio Sunday morning 9 to 10 on ESPN Richmond, which is 106.1 FM in the Richmond, Virginia area, and Sunday morning 9 to 10 on ESPN Radio 94.1 in the Virginia Beach area. I'm Al Galdi. We'll talk to you next time on Nats Chat, and we leave you now with something special. A loyal listener of this podcast and a good friend of the show, Ben Raby of WTOP. He just won a special award. He won the 2025 Best Sports Feature from the Chesapeake AP Broadcasters Awards. So congratulations to Ben. Terrific honor. He won the award for a piece on Washington Capitals winger Alex Ovechkin, of him breaking Wayne Gretzky's record for career NHL regular season goals. The Great Eight surpassing the Great One, and Ben put together a wonderful piece, and in honor of him winning an award for that piece, we wanted to share that piece with you on Nats Chat. Enjoy.
So Carlson will make his way to the neutral ice, dropping it for Dylan Strome. He and Chikrin will team up and glide through center. Right side to Wilson, centered up. Ovechkin has it. He scores! He scores! Alex Ovechkin scores 895. There's a new goal-scoring champion, and his name is Alexander Ovechkin. He has done it here on Long Island. His teammates mob him. There is but one. Alexander the Great, the greatest to ever do it in National Hockey League history.
Well, it was expected, and now it's official. Alex Ovechkin has broken the scoring record previously held by Wayne Gretzky, scoring his 895th goal. WTOP's Ben Raby looks back at his career.
Super speeds. Ovechkin fires. He scores! Alexander Ovechkin, welcome on board.
It took all of 20 minutes into his NHL debut for Alex Ovechkin to score a goal. He seemingly never stopped.
Ovechkin fires. He scores! Alex Ovechkin, number 50. The golden moment in a sparkling rookie year.
That is goal number 100 of his NHL career. Back to the point. Ovechkin scores! Goal number 300 for Alex Ovechkin.
It was the combination of the goals and the physical play, the enthusiasm, how much fun he was having.
And how about the reaction of Ovechkin jumping into the glass?
Ovechkin score! Throw the hats! The Great Eight has tied it.
Congratulations, Alex Ovechkin, the Washington Capitals all-time goal-scoring leader at 473.
Et la première étoile de first star, Alexander Ovechkin.
If you know anything about Alex, the bigger the stage, the bigger he is.
Backdoor look, Ovechkin rips, he scores! Number 500 for the Great Eight.
The greatest DC sports moments that the Capitals have provided today. Tonight, Game 5 of the Stanley Cup Final as the Caps looking to win their first Stanley Cup in franchise history.
Across to Ovechkin, he scores! On the power play, Alex Ovechkin beats Marc-Andre Fleury.
The winner of the Conn Smythe Trophy as the most valuable player in the playoffs, Alex Ovechkin.
Alex Ovechkin taking the first lap with a Stanley Cup over his head. It's real, Washington.
We're the Stanley Cup champions! Yeah!
Forever a Stanley Cup champion, Ovechkin's ultimate goal was finally reached. The goals on ice, those kept coming too.
That's up for Ovechkin. Drive! He scores! His spectacular history-making continues. 700 red lights.
He got away a shot, blocked the rebound, they score, and it's Ovechkin with a hat trick and his 800th NHL goal. Congratulations to Alex Ovechkin. Goal 802. It's the Great Eight and the Great One.
Listen, he deserves all the credit and the accolades he's getting. I couldn't be more happy to be around a guy that has a chance to break my record.
This is what they came to see, an opportunity for Alex Ovechkin to score 895.
Send in Wilson on the flank. Cross ice. Ovechkin fires. Score! The chasing days are done. Alex Ovechkin is the greatest goal scorer in the history of the NHL.
Ovi dived onto the ice to celebrate today's huge goal as the many Caps fans in attendance in New York chanted his name from the stands. Then he was mobbed by his teammates to celebrate the big accomplishment.
Pitch on the way. Robles swings and drives it well to center, sending Cruz back, way back to the warning track toward the wall. He leaps. He makes the catch. Bangs up into the wall. Turns and fires it back in. And Canzone scrambles back to first base. What a play by Dylan Cruz. He made the catch. And where the higher wall and the lower wall meet into a corner in center field is right where he made the catch and then banged up against the fence and held on.